Hi YouTube. This is like take 5 or 6 by now. I'm really beginning to get annoyed at myself. I have to learn how to make a YouTube video. I watch Donica's videos all the time, and you know, I don't come close to her. So, but I like this. This is fun. This is fun putting my thoughts up on camera. So what I do tonight, I watch the political debates. Everybody watched the freaking political debates, the presidential debate at University of Colorado. You know what? Screw that. I don't really care, because just watching that debate tells me that I think we'd be better suited by putting a quality engineer or somebody that was related to the field of quality to run this country. Nobody's ever thought of that before, but this is my concept. It's revolutionary. So when it happens in the next election, just credit me with all this. You know, I'll take the credit for it. But let's look at the profession of the president. You know, stuff that was talked about tonight: cutting taxes, cutting spending, rerouting spending, trying to optimize some of the services that are existing now. Who better suited to do that than a quality engineer? Give me a break. We do that day in, day. Well, it's a lot of paperwork. I'll admit that. It is a lot of paperwork that's involved in our job. But in effect, what we do is we say, okay, and I'm going to say it from the manufacturing point of view, because there's many different kinds of quality engineers. There's you know, got people that do service industry, quality control for healthcare, quality control for bill collections, etc., etc. And those people are just, you know, the same as, pretty much the same, oriented the same as me. But I'll use manufacturing as an example. You know, we take a product and we tear it apart. And we say, okay, look, this ain't gonna work, this ain't gonna work, this ain't gonna work, this ain't gonna work, this ain't gonna work. Okay? You wanna make it work, gotta do this. And then you gotta test the crap out of it. Okay? What is the difference between that and what the president does? Okay? You know, the president looks at something and says, okay, we got a program here, or I got a bill that's come across my desk. And I see this, and this wrong. And publicly they say, okay, I'm not going to push this through. I'm not going to sign off on it until you guys make these changes. So difference there, there is none. Okay? So the president is more worried about, you know, the political type president is more worried about, okay, who am I going to piss off tomorrow? Who am I going to piss off by rejecting this bill? And who's not going to, do my next bill? You know, who's not going to support my next latest and greatest thing if I don't? And it's the same for quality engineers too. Okay, we're a little political, but the thing is, what it comes down to is, okay, what I'm doing here either is going to, it's going to make or break the product. Disagree with me, debate me, give me logic, give me your reasoning, and maybe I'll see your way. Okay, that's number one. Number two, again, we get to stop stuff. Okay, I'll put it this way: I have the ability, even as a contractor, to stop thousands of dollars of product from going through and being sold. The president can do the same thing. They have the power to veto a piece of legislation that costs the American public millions or billions or even trillions of dollars. They have the ability to do that, and people are either going to like them or they're going to hate them for it. For the most part, quality engineers are used to being hated. So chalk up one for quality engineers. We don't care about being hated. We do our jobs, period. Statistics. We rely on statistics and history. Well, written history somewhat. Anecdotal history. But when somebody brings up a piece of anecdotal history, we say, okay, show me the numbers that say that you're right, or you're wrong, or this person's wrong. Presidents go by statistics only when it suits their own needs. To say, okay, certain number of people said that they like this, or certain number of people said this, that, or the other thing. Well, we take a lot of other factors into effect. Like, for example, I mean, there was the whole thing going back and forth tonight in that, or in that debate about, you know, what people think would work in healthcare or not. Okay. Obama's saying, okay, look, you know, I'm going to take this amount of money for healthcare. You're going to have it universalized. It's going to actually cost you less money in the long run than it is going to cost in the short run. And, you know, Romney was coming back with saying, okay, Obamacare is like 75 people that I talk to say that, you know, they're going to close down their businesses because of this. Look at the numbers, okay? Just look at the logic and everything like that. Yes, maybe the 75% of people did, but they're looking at, I mean, the thing hasn't really been implemented yet, so they really don't know. So it's like, okay, you don't know if something's going to work or not work unless you implement it. It's like the same thing. When a quality engineer, somebody says, I have a drawing of something here, and I want you to determine, like, you know, in production, what's going to go wrong with it. I'm like, well, have you made a part yet? And they'll be like, no. Well, you know what? When you got a part, let me know. Because you're supposed to build a prototype. Then you can tell me what's wrong. And that's the thing, is they're going to put... Romney's going to do the same thing if he gets into the White House. He's going to try out a plan, and people are going to figure out the way that it works for them. And, you know, it's the same as putting a quality engineer in the White House. I completely advocate for that. I really think that is what this country needs to do. The funny thing is, the only reason I watched the debate was because my other cubicle mate on my right side, he's your typical, he's from New England, but he's not a Kennedy Democrat. He's more of a conservative type, and the guy on the other side of me is one of those conspiracy, well, I'm not going to say conspiracy theory, but he's a little out there with his philosophies, typical Midwest radicalist kind of views, conservative. So they were all powwowing about this debate, and one was saying to him, like, yeah, God, it was so great watching Obama choke. And I just got so pissed off. I had to watch it and see how bad this was. You know what? It really, honestly, I don't get it. He didn't choke. You know, he just presented the facts in a different way, and it wasn't as insincere as Romney. Romney was very cold hard with his fact, and I say I like fact and everything like that, but the thing is, his facts didn't align with what the common person actually gives a shit about. He says it is, but it isn't, in my humble opinion. So, kick them both out. I'm running for president. F you, F off. Vote for me, and you just watched my retarded YouTube video. Good night.